Hey there, real quick before we get into the episode, I just want to ask you a huge favor. As you know, this podcast isn't monetized, and I really hope to keep it that way. And so, what would really be awesome is if you did me the favor of passing it forward, paying it forward. Hit that share button if you want to share this particular episode, or share the entire podcast. Post it on your stories or in your social media, or share it directly with any individual that you might think would appreciate and enjoy this content. I really want to continue giving you value for free, sharing this information with you, because my mission is to help you on your journeys, right? And as I said, if you're finding this stuff helpful, chances are there's somebody else out there that will. So again, do me a quick favor, hit that share button, and let's get this message out. All right, on with the show. Media. Just because you don't have the results that you want right now, doesn't mean you're not getting results. It means that you're looking at it from a lack perspective. You're looking at it from what you don't have or what you wish you had. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers. And my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the ReDefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to take a retrospective of my career. Not really a full retrospective in terms of like this happened here, this happened then, you know what I mean? Like a timeline of what my career looked like, but more of a retrospective of my progression as a business owner and progression in the various skill sets and capabilities and avenues and sectors of business that I've had to gain proficiency in, and ultimately, eventually, the goal of gaining mastery in those things. So I have been in the last 2 episodes catching you up on what the last handful of months look like. And so getting back into the marketing, getting back into social media, getting back into content creation, getting back into doing these podcasts and getting a regular cadence, and knowing kind of where all of this stuff fits together in the big, in the overall kind of machinery of my marketing. And then of course the marketing that I'm trying to build. It really, I felt very, very confident and comfortable stepping back into the space, right? Stepping back into these habits, stepping back into these activities, because I had spent so much time working on it already, right? And so the retrospective really that I want to convey is there are always times, and I, looking back, I noticed that there are times when, man, I am really starting to feel comfortable in this new suit or in this new role or with these new capabilities, right? If I go back to 10 years ago in 2013, when my network marketing business really started to cook. Around this time in 2013, I was getting into a groove where my confidence was high, my capability was very high, my ability to coach and teach, was improving exponentially, and it was because I had built on years and years and years of working on that stuff, right? And so. It's not something that I was necessarily aware of in the moment, but looking back, I can delineate exact moments where I was like, okay, at that period of time, I had gained a certain amount of proficiency, proficience, and therefore confidence in my own capability, and that was built on a momentum that was built over years. And so same thing with marketing, because marketing really was a relatively new in the span of my career, a new addition to my skill sets and capabilities. After nearly 12 months of intensive study and execution, right? As an aside, I want you to know that studying this stuff isn't enough, right? The mere ability to regurgitate information isn't going to get you results. You have to study, you have to apply, you have to examine, you have to adjust, right? So in the past 24 months or so, studying marketing, studying funnels, studying online marketing, the influencer space, and all that stuff, content creation. I was studying it and learning it and applying it at the same time, like rigorously applying it, especially with this particular podcast. When I was publishing an episode every day, I was gaining. I was building on that momentum, right? Yes, at the very beginning, it was really the hardest because, the inertia, I talked about the inertia in the last two episodes. The inertia wasn't there, right? I didn't have the capabilities, I didn't have the skill sets, and I didn't have the knowledge base, but I was willing to consistently put that work in so that I can start building momentum. It starts off slow first, like anything, right? The analogy is, the train. A train takes forever to get going, right? Because there's so much weight, there's so much mass. And so it really takes a long time, especially freight trains. It really takes a long time to get it going. Once it's going, it really is very, very difficult and takes a long time for it to stop, right? So same thing with anything in life that you're trying to, change direction towards or work towards a new goal or vision. At the beginning, it's going to take a lot of effort and energy to get that momentum going. But as long as you put in the consistent work, then the momentum will build on itself. And you'll hit a point, like reflecting back on many times in my career, you'll hit points where you'll realize, man, I am confident in X, Y, and Z, whereas 12 months ago, 24 months ago, I wasn't confident in this, in my own capabilities of this stuff. So it's really, the lesson that I want to convey to you is, number one, stay consistent with the action. And one of the biggest things that throws people off from being consistent is their perceived lack of results. Now, what I want to speak to this is that there's no such thing as lack of results. You're always getting results. You feel like you're not getting results because you're comparing what you have right now to your ultimate goal or the ultimate outcome that you're trying to achieve. And that's okay. But understand, that doesn't mean you're not getting results, right? Just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you're not getting results. It just means that you're not there yet. It's as simple as that. And really, one of the primary things that you need to do in order to get to a certain destination is continue walking, right? You need to continue putting in the effort consistently every day until you get to that mile marker or that goal that you're trying to achieve, that finish line that you're trying to achieve. And also, just because you don't have the results that you want right now, doesn't mean you're not getting results. It means that you're looking at it from a lack perspective. You're looking at it from what you don't have or what you wish you had. Instead, look at your current results, and if they're different from the actual outcome that you're trying to achieve, if it's not quite there yet with in alignment with your goals, then understand that it's just a stepping stone, right? You can look at your current results not from a lack of results or not from not having achieved the ultimate outcomes and goals yet. Look at it from, okay, so I'm not there yet. What do I need to fix in order to help me get one step closer tomorrow? And then do the same thing tomorrow, and then do the same thing after that, right? It's all about accepting the results you have now, not getting discouraged because you're not there yet, but be willing to be better, learn, grow, expand your capabilities every day, and consistently put in the work so that you can build that momentum and you can get there faster and faster and faster. You actually accelerate towards the end of your goal as the closer you get. Yes, at the beginning, as I mentioned, it's going to be slow. It's going to be arduous. It's going to take a lot of strength, willpower, and discipline to keep that momentum or to keep that action and the activities every day. But eventually you will hit a point where you're going to get into a groove and you'll realize, man, Yeah, I actually feel confident in my capabilities, like I am right now with this online marketing and the social media and the influencer stuff and all the stuff I've been learning in the last 2 years, just like I was 10 years ago when the work that I had put into becoming a network marketer and my skill sets and my capabilities really started to gain that momentum in that direction, and I gained confidence in my own abilities as a network marketer, right? And then of course, after that confidence and in your proficiency and capabilities, then you gain, if you keep doing it even beyond that, you gain mastery, right? You gain mastery. So be willing to stick it out despite your frustrations, despite your perceived lack of results, because again, it's not a matter of lack of results, it's just how you're looking at your current results and then what you're willing to do with those results, right? And the thing to do is just examine what can be fixed and tweaked and made better, and continue moving forward with your activity, with your actions every day. The momentum is not going to compound. The momentum is never going to come if you stop and start. If you stop and start, it's just not going to happen. So you have to be really, really consistent with all of this stuff, and this applies for your health. This applies with business. This applies with mindset and personal development. It applies to everything. It applies to everything. If you want to create certain outcomes in your life, so if you've set different goals in any aspect of life, finances, relationships, you have to work at it every day, and you have to do it consistently, so that you can create a momentum towards that trajectory and towards that direction that of life that you want to live. Otherwise, stopping and starting, you're never going to get there. You're never going to be able to build the momentum and therefore create your own, improve your own skill sets and improve your own capabilities to allow you to climb whatever mountaintop you want to climb to, right? And I know, like the last couple of episodes, I've talked about how I stopped everything, right? But that was all purposeful, right? Yeah, I explained that well enough, right? That was intentional. And as I said, leading up to my break and my hiatus, I was learning, I was adjusting, I was ever just tweaking and improving my process, knowing that that's what it took, right? And so once I decided to get back into the groove, it was easy to step back into it. And stepping back into it, I realized, man, actually, yeah, I'm much more capable now than I was, 12 months ago when I started this marketing journey, right? Even when I started the podcast. So that's the message for today. Keep going. You might be frustrated. You might be, you might feel like you're not making any progress, but trust me, you are. And it's just a matter of being able to kind of separate your emotion from your current results so that you can look at those things objectively and see what you can adjust and improve so that tomorrow you can be one step closer towards your goals, right? Okay, so that's going to do it for today's episode. Of course, there's another episode coming this week on Thursday. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.